Yes, do you think that can happen? 090-41,089, 090-44,089. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello,
good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Also, I agree the guy with this.
Yes, Joseph is his name. Joseph.
Yeah. Joseph.
Yeah.
Concerning Fifodi.
Yeah, what's your name?
It should be included. I said concerning Fifodi.
Your name. Tell us your name.
Oh, sorry. This is Raju Odex.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, I think Fifodi deserves to be in the USA. England. Is it USA or England?
England
team, yes. Yeah. Forget about the fact that he has not beat his best this season. Just like when sports leader was talking in the morning, we were talking about Saka. Though Saka forms has dropped drastically, but that doesn't mean I cannot make that England team. It may be a thing of turning around his career once again. So enjoy your day, boss.
Okay. All right, thank you for that one. He says, well, he thinks Foden's case is similar to that of Bukayo Saka, and that Saka has to, if Saka can still be considered as one of the guys who can still make it to the World Cup, then Foden should also still be one of those guys you want to put in the conversation as well. Okay, let's see how that goes. In Saka's case, he gets game time, and it's just been off colors. In Foden's case, it is actually the poor form that has led to him not getting game time at all, and I think that makes it a bit more difficult compared to Saka's situation, where of course you're asking questions if he can still get better than this and if he can still force his way. I mean, this is the end of the month now, so he has 2 months actually, 2 months to force his way into the team. April, May, and then we'll see if that works. Yes. This one says, good afternoon, Brilla. He says Phil Foden is a great footballer with many talents. Infield, like second striker, winger on the left, on the right, holding midfielder, and attacking midfielder. So the coach I blame who didn't fix him in one of those positions to take his talent for granted. Mickey from which of the coaches? Thomas Tuchel? He has to be. Can't be Thomas Tuchel. This one says, good afternoon, Vicky and Joseph. He says, enjoying your program. Anthony from Bariga, he says, I feel it's not fair to talk about Foden's performance yesterday as a bad one. I watched the game yesterday, and Foden really played well. Was winning his duels, created 1 or 2 chances. Wasn't really losing the ball in key areas, and I can never agree that Foden played bad yesterday. Him and Rashford were the only shining lights in that attack for England yesterday, according to what I saw. Foden played well.
Why you went? The coach talks says.
So if Thomas Tuchel, who's the coach of the side, doesn't think that the guy did well, you say by your own standard that well, I don't want to argue with what you saw, but I think overall the ratings also said he was 5. He was 5. If you're rated 5, same as Madueke, who got injured in the first half, it's a concern. Madueke left that game before the end of the first half. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
I'm calling all the way from Nature.
What's your name, please?
I'm Mr. Kenneth.
Okay, welcome.
Foden, you see, this thing that we happening to all the England age players, all these young players of England, this have been happening to them. Even this Rashford today, it happened to him. This, what they call Greenwich, the same thing. When you relax, you have achieved, you are arrived, it affects your form. So this guy should have changed the club. If you leave that club and product consider you have challenge. Without challenging, your form cannot be just increased like that. They are not these are the European players. They are not South Americans or Africans that will take challenge. European players are not like that. Sometimes you leave your comfort zone. If you look at it now, you achieve the Champions League, the Premier League, FA Cup, everything in England. So what is he fighting for? Let him go out there. Look at Rashford, who were flawed at Manchester United. Aston Villa today, Barcelona is doing well because of the challenge. So I think that way should leave the club. That's what I think. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that one on the show this afternoon. Yes, Football Live as the action continues right here. Yes, he can still make it work. If Pep fix him right, with Pep, great coaches can find his form with him. Yes, he can find his form for him. Mickey from away, of course, you're talking about Pep helping Foden to find his form. But my brother, this is football at the highest level, though. How many things can coaches do for you?
If you don't do it first and second time, you know.
Like, this is football at the highest level. You are not like a player who's coming from the youth team, and then the coach is trying to give you confidence, trying to settle you into the team and make you feel comfortable.
At this stage,
you are already a first team player. Foden has been a first team player for over 6 years at Manchester City. Yes, he's 25 now. He broke into that team before he was 20, and it's going to be 26 in 2 months' time. And so, yes, you look at that and say, okay. I mean, I think nobody's taking anything away from him in terms of his quality to say that he's no longer the player he used to be. It just doesn't show up. And there are situations where some players have been able to manage their game so well that if they are in form or they lose form, you will only notice because they don't get in among the goals anymore. But when they are not in form, you will not notice because they compensate with every other aspect of their game. You look at it and you say, okay, this is looking good, this is looking good. Again, statistically, one of the reasons you cannot drop Bukayo Saka is that he will be involved in the big chances.
Yes.
He'll be involved in some certain aspects of the game. If you count the top 5 indices for attacking play, Saka is also top 5 in the Premier League, despite not having a lot of goals and assists this season. So, I mean, if coaches are also looking at this, despite looking at eye test as well, they're also looking at aspects where this person can switch the game in their favor. And then you are looking at those things and you're saying to yourself that, oh, if we drop this guy now and such a scenario pops up, we will regret not having him be in that position. So a lot of times, I think it's not tiredness. I think it is when the loss of form starts affecting the confidence of the player. They become a tad slow. Maybe they need to be away for them to find the hunger again and come back. You will not say that it is tiredness for the case of Haaland, because I know that he was injured for one period and then he was out for a while, for like 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, all of that time, the best he'll be doing is gym work and ball work. You will not say that it is the tiredness that has affected him, but he does not look like the same guy he used to be. In situations where he could have easily decided games, he's not been that same person. And so you can have reasons to now say maybe he needs to rest more. Maybe he should. Again, if you look at the numbers, I'm not saying it is outrageous, but for a guy, for a season where an entire team has done 50 games this season or 49 games, I don't think it is extraordinary for a player of a Premier League level, where you're playing at the highest level, you're playing Champions League football and playing Premier League football, and you are doing 3,000 minutes and above, and somebody would think that, okay, it's because your form is bad, that's why you're not showing up all the time. I think there will be moments where you will not always show up. But for players who are technically up there, they tend to manage these situations better. Especially, for instance, if you are a distributor as a number 10. In most cases, you will not exactly show up to be the guy who scored the goals. I mean, Bruno's last couple of goals, there's been more assists than goals in the last couple of matches that Bruno has played, and those assists have actually been so clutch that they either win the matches for United or bring them back on level terms in those situations where you now look at it and say, this player is too important for us. He may actually not be in form because he's actually scored some goals from the penalty spot this season for you to say this is not vintage Bruno. But in situations where he has also helped the team in those positive statistics that are actually pointing in the direction that this guy is the spark in this team, if you take him out of that position because you think he should get a bit of rest in order for him to find form, you're going to have a bigger problem in the team, and then there'll be question marks around. I don't have a problem with starting Saka per se. I have a problem with in situations where you need a player who's more direct there's nothing that says Saka cannot come off the bench in those situations. Yes, there's nothing that says he cannot come off the bench in those situations. And then, I mean, for all of Shesko's form, a lot of coaches would have been tempted by now to say, let him be a starter.
Yes.
But Carrick still thinks he's better off when he comes off the bench, and we're looking to kill off teams. Because he's a guy who comes in with more than one option, and then you're thinking, okay, if we stop him like this, he could go aerially, his pace is good, his touch is good. He doesn't need to touch it twice. Like we saw that goal against West Ham United where he hit it first time.
Yeah.
If your technique is bad, you cannot do that. Gyökeres will struggle to do that. Like it will take him weeks or months of training to do that. But are we talking about space inside the box for a guy like Gyökeres? Of course, he's swift. He could hit it and get the job done. He hits the ball really cleanly and hits it hard and tries to find the back of the net in a lot of cases. But again, if you take the fact that there are two people on him as a situation, it becomes a concern because he cannot deal with those two players while also handling the ball. And then that becomes, oh, this guy is off the ball situation, or he's on the ball and ball holding situation or hold up play is a concern. I think for Foden, he has all of these things in his kitty, but Foden tends to shine when the team is generally doing well. In situations where you expect him to be a problem solver,
to be the main guy.
Yes, I think he shies away from that when he has to be the main guy. But in situations where the team is generally doing well and he pops up to get the job done, yeah, he could do that.
Well, he did plenty of that while, you know, the last Manchester City Premier League win, he won the Player of the Year. He was basically the main man. Everything basically went through him. If not for Haaland, I mean, Haaland was always going to be the main guy. But situations where, you know, Haaland doesn't come to the party, he comes in, scores braces, gets a goal, gets 2 assists, and here and there. I think that was basically the peak of Foden. And
again, one of the few problems I have with individual awards, because in that same season I felt
Cole Palmer as well.
Haaland was the main man through and through, but again, when he gets in the conversation of who's best player and all of that, and coaches and players and captains and everybody will have to do the votes, my mind is out of that place, because it's not something I want to have an opinion on. I might have how I feel about it, but it doesn't exactly matter, because those who, of course, are the ones who will decide, they have decided for themselves. But again, I think sometimes it's hard to manage the form of these guys. The best of Palmer we've seen has been Palmer under Pochettino. And from that time, of course, there was no rest for them in the summer. He played at the Club World Cup. They barely had time to rest. They came back. And then when the groin issue started, you just knew that this was going to be a problem for him. The groin issues have come and gone, but the form is in patches. It has not exactly come full-fledged where you say, okay, this guy is in a fantastic form of his life and he's having a good run and he can be trusted. Back then, before that injury under Pochettino, almost everything he touches was either a goal or an assist.
Yes.
He was that close to making things happen at that point where people were like, oh no. At the point when De Bruyne was also leaving, City should have been able to exercise a bit of patience with a player like this, because this is a natural heir to De Bruyne leaving that position. But here we are. Sometimes, again, you have to look at those who have done it repeatedly and respect them more, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. 1 season, 2 seasons is not enough. You have to be there consistently and keep proving it before people will now say, okay, you know what, this guy's got what it takes, and he's making it happen for this team because he's the main guy. But yeah, for Foden, a huge concern for him, but I hope he finds a way around it and is able to get out of that situation where we will not have to ask all of these things of him again and say, oh, is he getting it right? Is he failing to do it right? Or anything that comes with. Again, Thomas Tuchel is a guy who would pick the team that he feels will get the job done for him. And if Foden doesn't fit into that, that will be his headache. Now, all good things must come to an end. Even Mohamed Salah, the epitome of good things for Liverpool over the past 8.5 years, and cannot go on forever. Yes, good things cannot go on forever. On Tuesday, the Egypt international shocked the football world by confirming that he will depart Anfield at the end of the current season. But while the timing of Salah's announcement was unexpected, The past few months have increasingly appeared to be setting the stage for his Liverpool curtains call. Yes, of course, since joining the club from AS Roma in 2017, the forward has emphatically carved his name into the annals of Liverpool's history. And yes, he is the third in the club's all-time leading goal scorers list, having netted a staggering 255 times in 435 appearances. Salah has won 8 major trophies, including 2 Premier League titles and the UEFA Champions League in 2019. During his time on Merseyside, he has registered 189 goals and 92 assists in the Premier League alone, the highest number of goals contribution managed by any player for one club in the competition's history. Can Salah's void be filled by Liverpool? Joseph.
By who? Yes, no. I don't see. Salah is probably the last of the dying breed, with probably the likes of Harry Kane. You know, players who are like the main characters, the main guys. I don't think there's anybody. Yeah, Haaland never do 5 seasons consecutively. Who else? Nah, I don't think, a player like Salah would be. I don't think he'll be, what's the word now, replaced. I genuinely don't think so, because I mean, for his profile, his caliber, his type, his kind, so rare that they don't make plenty of those anymore. He's the kind of guy who, is the kind of player who, a manager, you can't box under one system. I see plenty of the particular talents that we have nowadays basically about systems, and this is how you have to implement them. I mean, we're talking about it for Phil Foden. Anybody could have argued, say, 6 years ago, that Phil Foden would be the next big guy, in Manchester City and whatnot. But I mean, how many years down the line, he's not been able to. And now it has to be about, would you be able to play him here? Okay, let's play him here if you function here. I think for someone like Salah, apart from the fact that he keeps churning out the numbers bad this season, not plenty players do numbers nowadays. In fact, what we experienced, say, 5 years ago, even when at the old stage of Ronaldo and Messi, even now with what Ronaldo is still turning out in terms of numbers, you won't see many of the young guys doing it. So people are now being content with, maybe it's just a reset, but I mean, people are now being content with having, he scored 25 goals this season, that's a very good number. And, it's just the sad case of the reality we are now. And for a player like Salah, to come up strong in the Liverpool side last season, to basically, in fact, single-handedly, I would say, over 20 goals and, just assist, basically taking the lead in every attacking metric in Liverpool.
Yeah,
I really don't think there's any player who would come to that. I mean, you could talk about, say, Olise. I mean, everybody is trying to look for Olise and say, maybe he's the next in line. But even Olise is never going to give you such number of goals. He's never going to do that because it's not his strength. So who else? I mean, it seems as if we are going back to the days of, what wingers primarily used to be, until Cristiano Ronaldo, evolutionized it to the Premier League. It wasn't about goal scoring. At one point you have Thierry Henry, but then you could say he's a striker. So I think for me personally, I don't think there's any player who could possibly do that, and I don't think we are going to be seeing any caliber of player like that soon, because I mean, it keeps getting terrible by the generation, the caliber of wingers we have. And again, you also look at it from the angle of the tactical, how coaches these days want to play. Maybe it's sort of contributes to the deterioration of the quality of wingers that we have nowadays, or even attacking players or tens and whatnot. But the truth is that personally, to have player with such a drive, I mean, nowadays we have more crybabies than people who actually want to get serious. What's his name? This guy with Indomie here in Nottingham Forest, Indus Air. The one with Ipswich. He was with Ipswich last season.
Omari Hutchinson
was yapping about his face cream getting washed off because he was sweating. in a Europa League game than actually counting for something on the pitch of play.
Sunscreen?
Yes. He was saying
These guys,
he had his face cream running all over the place.
These guys are clowns.
These are the quality of players. I mean, you look
Are
at
you serious?
Imagine. Nowadays, that's the caliber of, those are the calibers of players that we're churning out now. And to be honest, that when the likes of Vinicius Junior leaves, he's not doing the numbers as well. He's probably been able to do that 1 season or 2, and that's about it. Who else? Basically nothing in no day. So to be honest, I think I don't think we would ever have such players like Salah anymore, except maybe I mean how many years ago, say 20 years ago, we didn't know we would get to this stage. We didn't know we'd have flying wingers doing all of these crazy things and owing up to the bigger stages. Maybe in the next couple of years, but from where I'm sitting, from my point of view, I don't think at this point in time there's any player who will do what Salah has done for Liverpool. And sad as it is, but it is just the reality. They will try. Chiesa will come in terms of how the team plays, but I don't think in terms of grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck for teams, dragging them to time. No, it's not. It's most probably not going to happen again. No, most probably not.
So it's impossible to replace a player like him.
It's impossible. It's just impossible. I don't see it happening.
So post Salah, what should the whole idea be? Get guys who can score goals and not particularly try to replace a guy like him.
How many people are scoring goals?
Recruit more strikers, maybe. You have Isak, you have Ekechike. You probably want to recruit more.
So I think where the world is going and how Liverpool plays now is just to get the wingers who would create and do a lot of assists. I think that's where the world is headed, and leave the strikers to do their thing. And again, less credence to what is happening at Arsenal. You find out that except Gyökeres is incidentally Arsenal's highest goal scorer. The wingers are not scoring goals. Saka is the second highest goal scorer with 6 goals. But yes, I mean, Arsenal are the best team in the league at this point in time. They are going for the league title. So it means you don't have to depend. Who says you have to depend, on your front men to get all the goals for you? So it means, you have to go more tactical now and get the extras where they will come from. Corner kicks, set pieces, whatever. And I think that's what teams go with now, and then they go over the line with. So for me, I think what you just need to do is players who are just serious enough to want to contribute to the team, whether as a winger or defender. But in this topic context now, I think going with Liverpool, they just need somebody who's, I think, a player in the mode of Chiesa, who wants to walk his socks off for the team, whether it's coming from the bench or not. I think these are the caliber of players. But again, he won't get you all of the goals, but you can see the intent. The likes of Cody Gakpo, they want to, they continue to drive at the opposition and try to make things happen. And I think that's what teams need nowadays to get over the line. Okay,
Salah, end of an era, no doubt about that. Of course, talks about if this man is replaceable. Jurgen Klopp has had a few things to say about the man himself. Can Salah's void be filled by Liverpool? 090-41,089, 090-44,089. Can Salah's void be filled by Liverpool? You think they have what it takes to fill that void? Would recruitment help? There are guys who are doing good numbers now, but not anymore. I mean, for goals contribution last season, goals and assists, Bradley Bakula was doing like 34. Kivicha was around that range as well. If you throw in Dembele there and throw in Desiree Dou there, those guys were like 100 and for PSG. And then you begin to talk about Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, João Neves. The responsibility was shared last season. But yes, you knew the front guys did a lot more. Numbers? names have actually been suggested. A few names here and there of players who could come in and replace the man. But first, get a winger who's adaptable and who's impressive, who's got good numbers with a high ceiling. Okay, get a winger. Don't particularly look for a Salah. You will not find him. Just look for a winger who offers you a whole lot of these things. And I think this season, whether by accident or design, it has played out in such a way that because he has not hit peak form this season and say he's leaving at the end of the season, it's not such a big deal, in quote. Because if he was doing the same season like he did last season, 29 goals in the Prem alone, and then coupled with the assist and all of that, we're talking 30 something, and then we now let such a guy leave when the ovation is loudest, the next guy who's going to be coming in would say, oh, how do I match the numbers that this guy pasted this season? If you're coming in from next season, you can say, okay, yes, he's a great player at this club, but at least his last season here, I will be judged by his last season here, and I'll be hoping that I can better those numbers. I don't think Salah has done up to 9 goals this season in all competitions. I don't think he's done 10 in all competitions, but whatever the figures, I might have to check again. But I think if a guy comes in, especially you're not coming in a season after he's had huge numbers, then the pressure might be less. But if you're coming in a season where he has not done so well, if a winger comes in, for instance, to Liverpool, and you do say 15 goals in all competitions and say 12 to 15 assists as well, 30 goal contributions across all competitions, I think you would have done well. I mean, by winger standard, you have done well. By standards for which you want to raise a winger, we would say, yes, this guy has done 15-15. But if you come in and you are giving 6 goals and you are saying because you are a winger, I mean, I know that guys like Jeremy Doku, they get away with a lot. They get away with a lot. You play for Manchester City, so people cannot exactly question you. Jack Grealish was before him. Doku, I mean, imagine all those plenty step overs and all those things, and then you have just 1 goal in the Prem this season. Wow! And the day you scored the goal, the commentators were even trolling you like his first goal in 43 matches. I'm like, he don't reach. You know, so if you look at that, you might regret, oh, we did not. Again, a quality replacement is going to cost a lot of money. But can Liverpool fill the Salah void? Yes. Let's hear from you this afternoon on the show. Yes, who are the names you probably have in mind, just in case you're thinking the void can be filled? Yes, it may not be Salah, but it can be somebody that is equally as good. And then, who are the names that you're probably thinking about as possible options that Liverpool could possibly look at as well? Jurgen Klopp says he's an all-time great. Yes, he's an all-time great. And don't take anything away from that brother. Yes, he's an all-time great. The words of Jurgen Klopp as he was talking about Mo Salah this week ahead of a Liverpool Legends game. Yes, he was talking about Mo Salah. He said he's an all-time great and it will be impossible to replace him. Liverpool, do they have a void to fill replacing Mohamed Salah? Of course, let's take this on here. It says, good afternoon. Yes, in Liverpool. Okay, it says, yes, in Liverpool in this era of CR7, Messi, Salah, etc., no player can do what he did in the coming era. There will be more of them. Salah, I give you my respect and thanks for the years spent at Liverpool. Impossible to replace for Liverpool. They will face goal challenges for some years in his absence. Mickey from away. He says, okay, it will take them a while. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Solution.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Solution.
Solution. How are you today? Welcome.
I'm doing great.
Okay.
For Liverpool, it will be very difficult to find someone who can do the job that Salah has been doing for them. But I think there are a number of people that you can call up. People like Isha Barakelia. And maybe...
Oh, no. Come on now. You were going to suggest names. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, and let's talk to you and find out who you think are the possible names that could come in. I mean, you may not get a perfect replacement for Salah. Some players are that special. You will struggle. You know that you can't replace them, but you have to manage. You have to manage. Football must go on. Football must go on. Again, this season has shown that since he didn't step up, they have to find a way. Yes. And if he had moved at the end of the last season, people would have said, oh, because they sold Salah. Oh, because Salah was not in the team anymore. That's why we're having all of these problems. But at least he stayed one more season, and nobody can tell the future. It didn't go as expected. And now you probably need a guy who would step in and say, okay, let's get the job done and make sure that Liverpool are fired back to that place where they used to be. I'm not sure how easy it is to try to remember what it used to be before Salah now. Yes, I think it is almost impossible to try to remember what it used to be. But we've seen them manage guys like Firmino leaving, guys like Mane leaving. Can they handle this one? Do you trust Liverpool to fill the void created by the imminent exit of Mohamed Salah going into another season? Can Liverpool fill the void of Salah? Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Craig, call me Cody Gakpo.
Okay, welcome.
Yes. When we had that news on Tuesday,
Yeah.
the whole Liverpool family was shocked. It's a big loss. But then there's something we can do, football concern, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But then we don't think we're going to be an easy replacement for now.
Yeah.
But we will need any replacement that can help us sooner than now to go to this guy at Bayern Munich, Olise. I think it will be a good advantage for us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that one. He says Michael Olise, who plays for Bayern Munich, would be a good replacement. Yes, he will be a good replacement for Liverpool. Yes, as Mohamed Salah, of course, is set to depart from that club. Olise used to be in the Premier League, by the way. Yes, played for Crystal Palace before he made that move to Bayern Munich. And yes, the last contributor said, if you get a guy like that, he just might come in and fit in perfectly in the absence of Mohamed Salah. Let's take this on. It says, good afternoon. It says, at Liverpool, Mo Salah is irreplaceable. Now his watch is over. It now falls on the younger generation to see Liverpool through the decade ahead. I applaud the courage of Mo Salah on deciding to leave Liverpool at the end of the season, even though this decision, in my opinion, should have been taken 2 seasons ago when the ovation was loudest. Not everybody can read the room to know when he's going to be the loudest now. I hope the Liverpool faithful will appreciate his effort and sacrifices so far at this club. My joy is that I witnessed his sign for Chelsea from Basel. Olise might be a capable replacement, but only time will tell. This is coming from Ajibade. Yes, on today's edition of Football Live. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
I don't understand why people keep saying...
Tell us your name
Salah.
first. Tell us your name.
My name is Abib. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why people keep saying Salah ovation is loudest or what. That guy last season has 29 goals. You understand? And this season is not performing up to expectations. So the guy feels it's the right time for him to leave. So that's what I'm just saying. He thinks he can perform at the top level. That's the reason why he stayed 1 more year for Liverpool. So people are just saying, he's still the same guy. And he's the only guy that has done back-to-back for Liverpool. So I think Michael Olise will be a fit. I'm not saying we live up to expectations to Salah, but Michael Olise is a good fit for Liverpool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that one. He says Michael Olise would be a good fit for Liverpool if they are able to secure his services as a replacement for Mo Salah. Okay. Yes, of course. Let's take more of the contributions. Yes, you have them. Keep them coming. And let's share your thoughts this afternoon. This is a player that I'm sure you saw him play, you enjoyed his game, you saw everything he's done, and you will live with those memories for a long, long time to come. Mohamed Salah, yes, he blessed the Premier League. Like, no debates. Let's not even go to some certain places because that brother could tear your legends their certificate too. What an impactful player. Yes, Mo Salah. Hello. Good afternoon.
This is Desire, the Liverpool boy.
Say again.
This is Desire.
Okay, Desire. Okay, let's hear you.
Talking about the place for Mohamed Salah. I don't think there is a perfect placement for him, but the player that would request to go for the beat. I think we at some point. I think he's on our ready for the place.
Desire, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. You started this conversation well. For whatever reason, maybe you got distracted because you sounded really far from your phone. Try to reach us again so that we can take your contribution. You are a Liverpool fan. You should be enthusiastic about making your contribution on this matter because this is a topic that you're familiar with. This topic is from home. So you should be able to talk about it and say, okay, yeah, this guy's done XYZ thing and this guy is such an important player for us and we think it's going to be really, really difficult for him to be replaced. Okay? Yes. Let's take more of the contributions on the show this afternoon. This one says, Nana Perez, he says, for me, possible replacement is Wilson of Fulham. That guy is a baller.
Wilson.
Which Wilson for Fulham? Which Wilson for Fulham?
Harry Wilson.
Harry Wilson. He was at Liverpool before. He's not a winger. He cannot survive on the flank. Trust me, Harry Wilson is not a winger. No good reason now. You've not seen a lot of him.
After
Harry Wilson.
This is the way they shine.
Harry Wilson is also 28.
It's 18 as well.
Good afternoon. This one here says Anthony from Bariga says nobody can replace Mohamed Salah. To be honest, I feel like Liverpool should go for Bowen. That brother just the wasting talent for West Ham. He doesn't have the people who will work together with him, and he still produces. Bowen will be a good buy for Liverpool. And he says, and lastly, Ndiaye, yes, Iliman Ndiaye of Everton. He will not do bad in that right wing.
Oh, see this player, so now don't mention. How many goals Iliman Ndiaye get this season?
You see, Joseph, let's take more contributions. We'll say what I want to say. We'll say it at the end. We'll say it at the end of this thing. You see this thing people are doing. You are opening the windows into your heart for us to see some of this. Let's go there and take more of the call of the messages and the calls as well. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Desire, let's hear you.
Okay, talking about replacements for Mohamed Salah.
Yes.
I really think that we should look for Michael Olise.
Michael Olise.
Not just because Salah is talking about him. I really think that he will be a very good replacement for Mohamed Salah. But you see what he's doing at Bayern Munich. He's a very good player. But I don't want to complain about. Today I watched the match they played against them. I saw the one that. So I think he should be a good replacement.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that one. And yes, more for the contributions coming in. So it says Liverpool can get a good winger, but cannot exactly replace Mohamed Salah for more than a decade because those numbers don't lie. Liverpool should not think too much about getting a player as good as Salah, but can get themselves a good winger. They should they should get Palmer if Chelsea can allow them to do that. Yes, if Chelsea can allow that happen, because I believe he's got the goal threat, and Olise is not going to go to Liverpool for now for many reasons, because he still must be needed at Bayern Munich. And Michael from Jakonde. Palmer, as good as he is, does he have the physicality to do that?
He cannot.
Nobody.
He go gas.
Nobody.
No fit.
Salah. Salah. Ha! No, that brother. That brother. I learned this thing from somebody. That brother. Good afternoon, guys. I think Salah deep in form this season is what causes Liverpool to be where they are right now. Yes, he says, my brother, to be honest, it is going to be an uphill task to replace him. As for replacement, I think Olise can fit in perfectly. You guys are doing a good job, Richard from Igondo. Thank you, Richard, for that one. How about Kivicha? Why is everybody on Olise?
Kivicha is the left winger.
He plays anywhere on both flanks.
It's predominantly on the
left.
On the left.
Which is where Salah is on the right.
On the right.
Okay.
Even for Kivicha, can he keep the consistency? Because last season
I think he has entered his prime years now. He's doing it.
Okay.
He's doing it.
I'd agree. But how long do you think he's actually going to?
Let's be honest. I think the recruitments were really faulty. Last season, when we were making list of players clubs should sign that can either understudy the main guys or become close to replacing them.
Yeah.
I said Mbeumo was the Salah replacement in the Premier League. As first, he's used to the league, and if it is that style of play that Liverpool have to do, that one man has to run in behind, you have to do this, take on a man, and the way Klopp made us used to Liverpool, not the way this one has played, where sometimes you are not sure. But from what we've seen of the Klopp team, I thought Mbeumo was the man. And then the second closest to Mbeumo I thought would have been a perfect replacement was Antoine Semenyo. Because again, from the perspective of guys who are used to the league, who their age is still relatively okay for them to raise the ceiling and then be good enough to plug the holes pending when you find a world-class talent again, these guys can carry you over the line. Their numbers have been fantastic. I thought those guys were the main guys. And for whatever reason, the man decided to look outside of England. Viet and all of these other men, and the names they brought in. And again, I am saying, if you got an Ekechike and the money that went for Isak, you had invested half of that on an Mbeumo and maybe a Semenyo, all of that money that went for Isak, you put it on these two players, you probably would have been able to do the job to a point where Gakpo knows that if he's not an impactful sub, he has no business being in the team. Especially when you sold Luis Diaz. Because he was also a handful on the other flank, where that also meant that you will not have your entire back line crowding out to Mohamed Salah. An X-factor player who would decide anything, but you also needed to create a bit of distraction with action on the right-hand side, which Diaz was. And so it makes me want to question all the whole thing behind the recruitment process, because again, I know that these guys use a lot of data and they use a lot of things that we do not have access to, we're not privy to. We know about them, but these are not things you go to the market to buy. These are things that when the conversation gets to a certain level, this is what you now apply, eye test is not enough. But I felt these were some of the guys who, recruiting them in the same league, would still keep them high up there, even if they lose the quality of what Salah gives them. Mbeumo did 19 goals the last season before he moved to Man United. 19 Premier League goals. Semenyo did 12. If you are bringing in those two guys, 19 and 12, that's good numbers. We've not even talked about the assists. And then looking at the relatively young age, 26, 25, that's good numbers. And then you're going to say to yourself that, okay, let's hope the figures will be good. These guys will come in and be able to fit in, and then they click into the team and they start getting the job done. I think all that would not have been a problem this season if you spent all that money on these guys, and then you are thinking, okay, Salah does not perform so well this season. I think it would have been an opportunity for some of these guys to now start fitting into the shoes, and then Salah's poor season will go under the radar. It will be a case of, okay, whenever he's ready, when it rains, it pours. If he doesn't, okay, the other guys are there to bail us out. And, well, these are now hindsight analysis, because, of course, these were options that were available And we decided to say, you know what, let's look outside of England. Let's bring in this, let's bring in that, let's bring in this, let's bring in that. I think as far as physicality goes, if a lot of these guys that are coming from Germany do not have a certain profile, you're going to have problems with them. A lot of softies are actually coming in. A lot of softies. Even this guy that was not such a softie, after a while, he suffered one burnout that he barely recovered from, Andre Scholler. Yeah. The other guys, they've been softy, largely so. Mesut Ozil, Per Mertesacker. Podolski wasn't a softie, but he didn't quite hit it in England. He also came at a point in time where, Giroud was the main man under Wenger. And then there was one hamstring Podolski suffered that kept him out for like 4 months. All of these things, but he was never the main guy in the team. Giroud was there, Sanchez was there, so yes, he comes in, he does his own thing, and I doubt if he ever led the line as the main striker at any point in time. But again, I didn't see all the matches.
The opening part of the season, where he scored, I think he had a few run-ins.
Yeah, he did.
That's about it. I think that was about the shiniest part of his stay at Arsenal.
So again, all of these things are things you just look and then you try to compare and contrast, and you discover that sometimes it doesn't work the way. Yeah, I think it's okay to have intelligent players. You can never have enough of them. But as far as recruitment go, there are fantastic players in Germany that you can bring in and then to do all the nice things. But that thing about German Bundesliga tax, I do not always want to rule it out. The closest to what we see of guys who come into the Premier League and they fit in almost instantly are guys who come in from the French Ligue 1. Whether it is second division like you had with Guendouzi, or you had with Mahrez, or you had with a guy like Mbeumo, or you had with guys like Enzo Lefebvre, or you had with, a few other names, N'Golo Kante when he came in. Yeah. The examples, a lot of them. Dimitri Payet, what's this guy's name? Artem Benafa, Samir Nasri. It goes on and on and on and on and on. These guys just come in and they barely need that lengthy window. Yes, there might be one or two of them where you still need to give them chance, but in most cases,
Rafinha came from France. France to Leeds United.
Exactly. So in most cases, some of these guys, they just come in and you don't have to worry about acclimatizing to a new league, because again, it looks like I might have to study the difference in terms of the intensity in the French Ligue 1 and that of the Premier League, because it looks like there's not much difference.
But you see, what I'm sorry if he's going to, but we have a lot of black players in the French Ligue 1. You get a lot of physicality there. That is just what it is.
I guess. I mean, that's also an aspect that you cannot ignore.
So
when you talk of what these guys actually bring in terms of physicality and the level of intensity in that league, I mean, the fact that you have players of that make, of that race, also dominating the league, it could be a factor. It may not be the singular one, but it could be to a certain degree why some things actually happen the way they do. I mean, I don't have all the stats in front of me or all the findings, but I think players who come in from that league, they almost do not struggle to fit in. And yeah,
it's contrary to what I feel the German Bundesliga should be able to offer. I always felt German Bundesliga, high intensity in terms of how they play, majority play, Gegen pressing, and so much high energy football. And to be honest, I find it quite. For a team like you have a league that has RB Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund, the Bayern Munich, and maybe you could talk about Bayer Leverkusen just coming off the ranks concerning, particularly how they play their football. You've got to find them. Borussia Mönchengladbach, these are physical teams. Frankfurt, and many of I look at how many of their products have turned out not exactly good. Nikola Jovic.
Is it because when the Premier League wants to sign, they go for those with the soft touches and the flashes and all the rest? Because again, it got to a point, the Bundesliga, they were looking at the Premier League to be recruiting some wingers. And even till last season, they still got Diaz. Before then, they got Mane.
Diaz is a South American.
Yes, I mean, so yeah, it got him from the Prem at least. There was a time they got the likes of Sancho, guys who were not even playing first team football in England at the time. And then
Kane Chukwuemeka.
yes, Kane Chukwuemeka. There was even a time that Emil Smith Rowe went on loan. Reece Nelson.
Yes.
Reece Nelson went on loan one time and did 9 goals with I think Hoffenheim under Nagelsmann. And then I think maybe the thing entered his head, and but that was the time when people were also looking at young wingers coming from England producing wingers and not giving them the opportunity to play, and then the Bundesliga was offering that.
Yes.
09041,889, Let's go back to some comments on the show. Oli said will be the best option. I am Shadi Po. Okay. Shady Po, this one is coming from you. This one here says, gentlemen, could Harvey Elliott get out of his own way, come back to Liverpool and shine? Well,
Harvey Elliott has that.
This is a good question.
Harvey Elliott has that. That's what's the word I could use now? That sheer will, that rawness, to his game.
Yeah.
But
he's not equally as talented.
No, you still
an
have,
eye for goals.
Yes.
He's also far off.
You still need somebody to be ahead of him.
See, one of the most patient coaches in this world that you need to work with in your lifetime as a footballer in Europe might just be Unai Emery. And if you don't cut it under Unai,
I don't know what the problem is. Probably because he's not basically even had the chance. He doesn't play.
I mean,
so it's probably one of these clauses with we don't have enough money because we thought we would have money to maintain or to get your. It was with an obligation to buy.
But nobody says transfer has to be paid at once.
Yes.
If the player plays well and impresses, I mean, you will be happy to part with the money.
But with the fact that he's not even having a chance to prove if he's...
That's where the problem is. So it means that he has not first things first improved or impressed the coaches in training for him to be handed a chance. This message from Wajibade further says, Palmer is a no-no. It won't work. He is more of a roving sort of player. And how about Dembele from PSG? He's experienced, he's cheap, and a short-term plug until a stable replacement is found. Selling clubs will test Liverpool's resolve to spend more money. Ajibade. Okay, Dembele just might be good. But again, will he be willing to leave home? Because he finally comes home and then he's finally in the form of his life. That's the Ballon d'Or winner there heading into the World Cup, and it's not going to be just Mbappe, even though Mbappe is the main man in the team. I mean, there's Dembele, there's Cheki, there's Bakola, there's Desiree Doué, there's a lot of all of these guys. I mean, France again putting themselves at the forefront ahead of a World Cup year. This one says they should get Moses Simon. Simon self no small. Tosin from Doha. Okay. And this one here says, good afternoon, Brilla. Good afternoon, sports fans. Adams from Akokai says, Salah might be very difficult to replace. He says Pedro Neto can also work. If Liverpool can give him time, space, and believe, particularly at the right wing role, he no fit score goal. Pedro Neto no fit score goal. No worry yourself. All those numbers where they do. Now prime football they play, so Pedro Neto not be small boy. It can't be less than 25 now. Is Pedro Neto 24 or 25? If he's 25, I think he's 26. He got to Chelsea before he started doing these numbers. So Pedro Neto's goals before he came from Wolverhampton Wanderers, they're not good though. So you know, go they think of Salah, they think of Pedro Neto. Except you don't they think say Chelsea should ship out some of these guys already, so that he don't they annoy you for Chelsea. Good evening, guys. Players who could possibly replace Mo Salah are Anthony Gordon. Okay, that's a good choice.
Well, Anthony Gordon and left winger now.
But he
will just give you the work rate on the right, boy.
You will have to invert him. He will play as an inverted because, of course, that's how Salah plays. So yeah, Yan Diomande. Yeah, that's a good option.
He's barely just coming out.
He's 19. He's too raw. Yeah. But again, you will spend a lot of money to bring in such a guy. And God help you if the ball bounces. Because now potential you could sign. Mohamed Kudus, he says. Jared Bowen as well. Babatunde from UK.
I could agree, Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen also not give you the goals because I feel like Jared Bowen has peaked in terms of goal scoring.
How old is Bowen? 29? 28, 29?
He's peaked for goal scoring.
I'm not sure, but Bowen is not particularly young.
He's 29.
He's 29.
He'll be 30 by December.
Okay, there's still time. I mean, stopgap measure, and let's see what he offers, at least temporarily, if he's able to hold it down for 2-3 seasons, which I think he can still do. But there will be a lot of demand, though. There will be a lot of demand. I'm not sure Bowen, especially if you have to consider the fact that a guy like Bowen has not had the sort of season where he plays a game every 3 days. Declan Rice was talking about that being part of their season where they have had to endure since October almost every 3 days playing a football match. It might be difficult for guys like Jared Bowen if you subject them to things like that, and then niggling injuries will start popping up. Do you know that
his injury records as well?
Yes. Do you know that I have never anywhere read about Salah's social life? Even when players do their team bonding hangout, you won't find him in places where they go for alcohol. Maybe just normal food and all the rest. He's probably somebody who respects his sleep time and all of that.
He's a family man,
does his thing. I mean,
cultural value.
There are a few other family guys there. I mean, family men there who are. Yeah, but I think thorough professional, and gets his job done. When they tell you need to sleep 7-8 hours before you play your next game, don't take it for granted, dude.
That's why it's a bit difficult to replace any of these OGs with the young guys. There's way too much distraction, and naturally, of course, because of their age, they have to also live the life of a young man, or however the case may be. So I think that's probably, except there are a few guys who are young and you can tell, okay, this one is well matured over his age. But I think it all comes as part of the development as well. You have to allow them, to live as much as they want to. Although in the confines, Lamine Yamal, somebody has to control him at the end of the day, but still allow him to be a kid. So I think it's all part of the development at the end of the day. And I think this thing don't get scripts. You can be lucky, but what are the chances? I just think there's no particular way you can say, okay, this is how it is done, except you first of all look at, away from even the ability, you look at the attitude, the personal, what's the word, the personality of who you are going to sign. And I think that's the first instance, because if you can tell from Salah's personality, and okay, this guy, first of all, he understands, okay, this is what I need to do at this point in time, this is what I need to do at this point in time. He has a set goal for himself, and he's absolutely going to be still professional all through. And every other part will be okay. Yeah, what does it bring to the game? I think if you have somebody who is willing, first of all, to learn, to get better, I think you solve 50% of the problem, which I think there's a huge problem with plenty of players of this generation.
Okay, of course. Let's move on with that. Of course, we're still taking more for the contributions. Let's hear from you on the show this afternoon. Yes, we're talking Mohamed Salah. And as far as conversations around football go, yes, as far as these conversations go, this is one of the biggest stories this week with, of course, Mohamed Salah. Anywhere in the world of football, anywhere where Mohamed Salah announced that come the end of the season, he's going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club. I was at home the day Jurgen Klopp announced his own. Hey! Yeah, my guy. I just felt like, see my guy. Good afternoon, Vicky and Joseph. You guys are doing a great job. Raphael here. He says Mohamed Salah leaving Liverpool would be a big blow because of everything he's done for the club, and replacing him won't be easy. The team was built around him, with most of the attacks going through his side. I think bringing in Michael Olise and building the team around him could work well. He may not match Salah exactly, but he could come close. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, thank you too for that contribution on the show this afternoon. Let's take this on here. It says, I think Mason Greenwood can fit in a bit. Richard from Igondo.
He never come England again. He never come England again. All of this.
That Mataba?
Yes. He never come England.
That Matana blight he could be on.
Almost the natural guy,
yes,
apart from probably Olise, because he scores, he assists,
he scores a lot,
he entertains, he does all of those things, but the extra matter just won't go away, and you understand the English bias over these things,
Okay. Let's, of course, go on to others. Fortune from Ikeja says, I think Luis Enrique would make sense. Okay, the one from Zenit Petersburg. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Maybe that one will play this in. It is Zenit Petersburg now. That player, he's a good player. No doubt.
He's 20. Okay,
no, this one is the younger one. This one is the young Luis Enrique. But I think he needs to also be in Europe where people can see him consistently. Brazil was where Zenit St. Petersburg went to snatch him before the top European clubs found out. And I'm not sure we see a lot of Russian football these days for anybody to have thoughts about him. So it will be a huge gamble to go to Russia and bring in somebody. That's not to say he will not pop, but the signs are not good, especially when he doesn't. Okay? And that for me is a concern. Good afternoon, guys. Yes, Victor and Joseph says Liverpool should go for PSG. Yes, go to PSG and get Desiree Dou. He's still young and can be a good replacement for Mohamed Salah. City man from Onitsha. Okay, Joseph, that's a good suggestion. Desiree Dou. Yeah.
Desiree Dou still has a lot of years to learn.
Yeah, but I mean, learning will come like this.
So far, but would he be able to cope with the intensity of the Premier League?
Of the Prem?
That's one thing that
I think so. I think you should be able to. But again, coupled with the expectation that will come with it, that's where I have a problem.
Because I look at his, he looks frail.
He does, but what a player he is.
Yeah.
What a player he is. And it's a lot. I will not advise a guy that young. He's barely 20. I'm not saying 20 years old players cannot, but 20 years old players are better off when they organically grow into what you want them to be before they leave home. Plucking Yamal out of Barcelona at the moment can actually be something different for him that could affect him. And so just let him grow into that 22, 23 when he's entering his early prime years, and then you can ask for the possibility of moving such a player, which makes me think that a Bradley Bacola or a Kivicha.
Kivicha will be much more. I'll take a Kivicha over any of these guys, because I mean it's very easy for. Depending on the environment as well matters for development of players, and sometimes when these kids go abroad, they find it very difficult to adjust to life, and then it starts to mess with their their psychology and whatnot. So I think for Kivicha, he's been out of home since 2021 or so. So I think you could understand if he goes outside. Probably
he's been to a couple of places, Napoli and PSG,
and he understands the terrain very well. He doesn't care so much, and he just wants to do his job and go home. And I think those kind of guys you could understand. But for young players like Bacola and Desiree Dou, it's just always a bit tricky.
These are also home boys. I mean, they're in their home league and they're just doing things. And 090-41,889, How difficult or how easy is it to replace a guy like Mohamed Salah? Of course, can Liverpool fill the void? We're asking all of these questions, and if you have names, bring them on board. Let's hear from you on Football Live on who you think the possible replacements can be. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kanu.
Welcome.
I hail you.
Yes.
Yeah, and your colleague there.
Yes, Joseph.
Welcome.
Joseph.
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Seriki Dioro Chelsea. That's why I know Chelsea football.
Okay.
Talking about Mo Salah's replacement. For me, when Mo Salah was struggling between, I think after Liverpool, the first other place that he have shined was Barca. Right now, replacing him, I think some other, like Joe Bowen and Michael Olise, some people have mentioned can do the job, but I'm looking at Salah when he was not that efficient during the off-season. I look at the options that they brought in when he was off form, and none of them have replicated that Mo Salah's performance. And I think the Mo Salah effect is the reason why some of those players will not do that.
Well, how is he? How is it the reason? How is it the problem?
Because when you remember the Mo Salah on the bench, Nathan Shiva will not even allow you to express yourself the way you would like to. And now he's no more. When he's no more, then we'll start talking about who will replace, who will fill in that shoes. Because at that time, every other person can start. And when you are playing there, you are playing to meet up the requirements of Mo Salah. So for now, I don't really think anyone can fill in that shoe until he left the club. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that one. I think other players not being able to step up to the occasion is 100% their problem. I mean, Salah wants to be Salah. I should not dim my light because I want yours to shine. This is football at the highest level. It's brutal. It is brutal. If you perform, you did 15 goals this season. Fans are expecting you to top it by 10 next season. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is Muiz from Lagos State, first time caller.
Welcome for the very first time.
So I'm talking about Mo Salah.
Go on.
I think the right option for Mo Salah is Yankuba Minteh from Brighton. That one will be okay.
Okay, Yankuba Minteh.
Yes, from Brighton.
Okay.
Or Taki Kubo, Real Society.
Takefisa Kubo.
Okay. Interesting.
I would agree with. I can take Takefisa Kubo, but for Yakuba, he's not.
Yankuba Minteh doesn't score a lot of goals.
But Takefusa, you could tell he could develop on that. He's a young player.
Yeah, he is.
And he's got the technique. I think close control is probably as good as, not as, I would say as good as Salah, but he's not so far off. And you could tell that, maybe when he continues to grow, that would obviously improve. But the goals, I think is more of an assist kind of guy than goals.
Yeah.
But Takefusa is more of an assist guy than goals, and I think be something that could be developed to start scoring goals. So
I think in the last 15 years, as far as Japanese football goes, there's been a lot of focus on developing the technical player. So far, he's been that prime example.
Yes.
After you had the days of Honda and Shinji Kagawa, he's been that example of the guy that has more of everything compared to the other guys. Do I think he can get the job done and fill the Salah role?
No, he's more of an assist.
Assist person,
so
of which they already have a Viet in that place.
Yeah. So I would actually take him now as a right winger for this Liverpool. He's not going to be Salah, but he can offer in terms of creating chances and just getting players to play with the team and lay on assist. Yes, I can take that.
Okay.
Because he still has a lot of years.
Yeah, he does.
He's stocky. He's quite physical for even his size. So I think, I would.
How old is he now?
Should be 23.
Takekubo? He's been around for a while.
Yes.
23. Okay. Let's go on to take more of the calls and messages coming in.
It's
24.
Yeah, it'll be 25 by June.
Okay. It's been around for a while now. And that's one very good player. That is one very good player, no doubt about that. Keep the calls coming in. Let's hear from you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Welcome to Football Live.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. I think Joseph is the one that...
Yes, Joseph is here.
Black boy.
Yes.
Great. I would love to meet you guys one of these days, physically, one-on-one.
No problem.
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
This is David from Sports City.
David, you're welcome.
Yeah, the man supporting Arsenal since 1994 April. So I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I like Mo Salah. I like good football, and Mo Salah is a great footballer. No matter what anybody says, he's a great footballer. So to now look at who can replace Mo Salah, there are three options. The guy in PSG, that guy they call Cavas, that we that we didn't buy that went to PSG. What's his name? What's his name again? You know that name is very long.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yes. Can't he replace Mo Salah? But Liverpool will have to pay plenty money.
They will, of course.
PSG. Exactly. So that's one option now. I don't know how old the guy is now.
I think he's 20, 25, 26. 25, 26.
See, prime age. Age. Then I don't know what is happening to Rodrigo these days. So Rodrigo that Arsenal almost bought and didn't buy again because he wasn't sure. Madrid wasn't sure.
He suffered an ACL injury. He's not going to play till probably the end of probably near the end of next season.
No go area. Then the only other one that is a rising star is that guy too in PSG, that Desiree Doué.
Yes, Desiree Doué.
Okay, sorry, I'm using about to call him. I'm sorry.
No.
So that guy is a rising star now. I think Liverpool doesn't have a choice. Liverpool will go through a patching phase the way they are now. They don't have a choice. What will now matter if Liverpool will succeed in that patching phase will be determined by the management, okay, and also by the kind of manager that they get. But it appears that with this Mo Salah leaving, this year should have been the year with the people they bought. But it looks like the manager is not getting the mix right this year. And, they are not, they should have used this year to do that patching. But it's challenging now. Next year will be challenging for Liverpool. If they don't get the right person to replace Mo Salah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution on the show this afternoon. Now, keep the contributions coming in, of course. We're talking about one of the Premier League greats, and you may never have the benefit of being in a conversation like this where everybody's got something to say about Mohamed Salah. And yes, we're looking at life after him. How do you think Liverpool should cope? Who is that man you think he comes into this side and you're seeing signs that, okay, this might be a ready-made example or a ready-made option for Liverpool to replace a man like Mo Salah? Yes, who's that guy and where's he going to come from? Let's get more contributions coming in before we go to the phone lines. This one says, hello, sports. It says, Brilla. It says, Liverpool shouldn't give Slot any chance to sign any player because he should manage these players and let's see how far he will go. That one's still be conversation. Man with the one fire. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, my name is Courage, King of the Nisco.
Okay, Courage, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. For me, I think I have two names in mind. Vinicius Junior of Real Madrid will be a perfect replacement. And this guy, Tango Otara of Brentford, I think he will also do a great job there. So I think these are the two guys in my mind right now. Vinicius and Otara of Brentford.
All right.
So what's up, VQ? What do you think?
Well, these are not bad choices, but I'm not sure that Vini can play on the right because he's already playing on the left, and that looks like a primary position for him now, right? If you take him to that right position where Salah plays, that might become a bit of a problem because it therefore means he will be playing as an inverted winger. For Dango Ouattara, talent-wise, I don't think I have a problem with what he offers. But he will not give
that Ouattara of a guy. That guy is good, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think he will give you Salah's goals.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for that one. I think Dango is a clever player. I don't think he will give you Salah's goals. I don't think he will give you Salah's goals. But this is not taking anything away from him. This is not taking anything away from him at all. I think he's. He doesn't have it. I think he's just at that level. Again, the only man I would have taken from that club has always been Semenyo. And maybe Senesi these days. After Zubani left, Senesi. Yes, Senesi is another guy who does really well in that defense and goes about his business quietly. Yes, he does his thing and just keeps it moving. Yes. Still talking about all the options available as we look at the exit of Mohamed Salah. This one says, VQ, make Liverpool test Barcelona reserve by bidding for Lamine Yamal. After all, they are broke. Ajibade, money don't they come back? Oh, money don't they come small.
We won't buy for 250. How many?
They never answer them. They never pick their call. Oh.
Now 500 million, you won't buy.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Kaipani from Monisha. Hello.
Go on.
Okay, for me, I'm a Manchester United fan now, but see that Salah. I like that guy. When that guy comes,
what guy?
Salah.
Who's the player you think should replace him?
I think they should go for Michael Olise.
Michael Olise. Okay.
Yes, that guy will give them, but once you not go reach the Salah level, but at least he go try. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that one and your contribution on the show this afternoon. Yes, we have lots of contributions also coming in. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Ooh, try again. Not sure what happened there, but it just didn't turn out well. Okay, so try again and let's see if we can take your thoughts on this matter. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Dennis from Lagos Island.
Okay, welcome.
For me, that Salah replacement. I think this guy of Real Madrid, this Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid. So sometimes people doesn't watch La Liga a lot. That guy has a big play ball.
That be that one for AFCON.
Yes.
So na La Liga na okay, no wahala sha. We know.
Against Man City, the home and away. That guy play. I watched the guy match. The guy they play for let's say La Liga. He might be one
I'm gonna leave that thing. Even for the Man City match, home and away, na Valverde be the star of the match. Abi, you know no.
I know it was. I know my father was
talented,
but my father third goal. So was he not doing? You not see the sweet pass against the Valverde for that third goal in the first place.
How many times your DMs they score a trick for that kind of big match?
The second leg, he send this guy Ruben Diaz back to England. Has been what he do Ruben Diaz for that second leg. You see they touch me now.
Yeah, he make he just they touch you like that. That guy, he never scored 10 goals in a single league season for his life.
Because he's not starting consistently now.
That kind of person wants to replace Premier League all-time greats like Salah. That kind of person will be bench warmer.
Salah was not this great when he came to Liverpool.
His numbers at Roma were bad.
But he was not that great as
his numbers at Roma were they bad? Did you see his numbers at Roma? You think if he was exactly if he was a bench warmer, you think they would put all that money on him? 34 million pounds.
They were not bad, but this Brahim Diaz, if you give him a chance.
Good man. My brother, leave that thing. He plays at Real Madrid. If he's not getting his chance already, he no go get him. Which Brahim Diaz? That one will see you and goalkeeper. You can't give goalkeeper for hand. All this embarrassment, you would have saved us of all this embarrassment. It's only a matter of time before they start checking your passport when you want to travel to say, are you from Africa? Come. You were the one who did that Nations Cup. Go to this side. Look, I don't even want to have anything to say about that. This Brahim Diaz would have just saved us the embarrassment that day.
Penalty,
go down, win golden boot, win the cup for your country, win everything. He say this one. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't believe that guy like that too. Brahim Diaz as a replacement for Salah. No way. Like I don't believe him like that too. I'm not. I don't have, not because I have anything against him, but because I don't think he is that guy to do it against Salah. No, I don't think he's that guy. He's been around for a while. He's been around from City. I think he moved to AC Milan.
Yes.
From AC Milan, he's now moved to Real Madrid. Okay, went to Madrid. Madrid loaned him to Milan, and then of course he's back. I'm not sure, but I honestly do not think he's that guy. I think in the La Liga this season, how many goals he don't score? We like saying one, safe. Like saying one and 5 assists
to start with.
So we go come they bring all those kind of guys now and say they can do the job. I'm not sure, to be honest. It will take more than convincing me on this matter to say, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. As far as his numbers go in the La Liga, I don't think he has it to be Salah's replacement. I know that, if he gets the chance, you don't want to gamble. You want somebody who's quality. Are we talking about Michael Olise and Kivicha from the benches of Bayern Munich and PSG respectively? No, we're not. We're talking about guys who are starting, who we have seen them consistently, and we know that if they step into this team, they will be game changers. Yes. But sometimes you say things and those things will catch up with you. When Neymar signed for Paris Saint-Germain, there's a guy at Bayern Munich who was saying, all that money could build you a new stadium, could raise an academy where players like Neymar will come up. Bayern will never be caught in a conversation where they spend £100 million on 100 million euros on somebody. When Harry Kane time reach, when did they find replacement for Lewandowski? Now quality for quality. They didn't have to. You see that kind of replacement now. They didn't have to have a day where they will sit down and say, if only Lewandowski was here.
No, first of all, this person be this person.
No time quality for quality, bro.
Potential.
You know, see, we take gamble with Ruben Diaz. No, I don't have anything against the player, but I don't think he's that guy to replace Mo Salah. I mean, Salah for once took us away from conversations of Luis Suarez in the colours of Liverpool. Yes, because there was always this talk of who's going to replace Suarez. And we had that talk with Torres until Suarez came. And now Salah has done that and everybody is like, okay, who else are we going to call? Do you know that even when Firmino and Mane left, because Salah was still a part of the team, they were still competitive. They still stayed in it. In fact, he single-handedly won them the Prem last season. That's how important he is to the cause. Someone is sending me a message to say, Rio Ngomoha, hey, my guy, calm down. because you know me. Shouts to my cousin.
Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. That one a potential. A potential. No, nothing more, nothing less. The person no go talk at me way be say it go be as if you downplay the talent of these guys. But that one a potential. Each time they do something on their Instagram when their age mates score. When Max Darman scored his first goal, Rio Ngomoha no let us hear word. When he scored, it was also Darman that was posting in that game against Newcastle United, that 4-3. Now he said a bit 3-2. He too was also posting. So you could just know, say, okay, this one's now the generation where they come for back. But this Salah's case, as it is hot, you go hard to find replacement too. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This Tunde Ayo speaking.
Tunde, you're welcome.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it will be very hard to replace Mo Salah. If you can remember, when Kevin Keegan left Liverpool, before they get the Salah, it takes a long time. It will come naturally, but it's not immediately. That's my own view.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much for that one. Hello, good afternoon. You're taking us to Kevin Keegan.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good evening.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Okay. Concerning Liverpool and Mohamed Salah, I mean, I will if they go for Greenwood to replace Salah. Thank you.
Okay. What name did you call?
Huh?
What name did you call?
Mason Greenwood.
Okay.
The former Man U player.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. He says Mason Greenwood would be his choice in terms of a replacement for Salah. Hello. Good afternoon. Sports Radio Bella FM, and yes, the action continues right here. It is Football Live, and let's of course take you to some of the games if we have them. Yes, of course, some qualifiers are taking place at under 19 level. Albania lead 3-1 against Malta. Denmark lead 1-0 against Andorra, and after 4 minutes, it's the Netherlands 0 against the North Macedonia 0. Yes, also in the same competition, Netherlands, another under 19 of the Netherlands team, are playing against Slovenia. They lead 1-0. France lead 1-0 against Switzerland. And Romania against Northern Ireland, it is goalless in that fixture. In the MPFL, 2 minutes in, yes, Bendel Insurance against Plateau United, it is goalless at the moment. For international friendlies, Kyrgyzstan against Madagascar. Madagascar lead 4-0. San Marino against the Faroe Islands, it is 1-1 after 47 minutes. South Korea against the Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast lead 2-0 in that game against South Korea. And yes, I can tell you, it is all happening right there. In the WSL, yes, the Women's Super League, Manchester United women, they're taking on Manchester City women. City women lead 3-0. 77 minutes on the clock. It is 3-0 for Manchester City women. Yes, Evan Guesson and yes, Simon Adingra are the scorers for the Ivory Coast as they lead 2-0 against South Korea. It is halftime in that game right now. 2-0 they lead. Impressive showing right there in that fixture. Yes, impressive one right there. You talk about African countries that are preparing as hard as possible and putting themselves in a position to have a good outing at this year's Summer World Cup, Joseph.
Yeah, of course. Cote d'Ivoire, I think silently, apart from the last AFCON they had, I think they are one of the better sides in the tournaments. I mean, on the continent at this point in time, ever since they got that gold medal against Nigeria back in their home country in Cote d'Ivoire. And I think for me, good quality of players. You know, some of them maybe it's tad underrated. You know, but when you've got likes of Diomande, you've got Ahmad. You've got, some of the, returning guys like, maybe Zaha is not particularly the person you feel like, okay, they are going to go the long-term way. But for now, it's, part of those set of guys you can say, okay, they are dependable to a large extent. And some of the guys coming in from even the home front, they've also got, I don't know what the situation is with Nicolas Pep, if eventually it's going to be reinstated. But I think one team that we might, what's the word now? Maybe sleep on will be Cote d'Ivoire actually, and I think they are going to have, low-key. I maybe not expect, but I fancy that they should have a good showing. Again, sometimes as far as Africa is concerned, maybe good showing might not be even qualified for the next round. But I think they are going to give, some of these big sides a run for their money because they are stacked and a properly coached team. Exciting to watch as well. So I think. I have good hope on them to make African viewers happy. Okay, let's see how that goes. And talking about one of Liverpool's great, Liverpool icon Steven Gerrard has cast doubt over whether Jarrod Bowen possesses the quality to succeed Mohamed Salah at Anfield. As the Reds prepare for life after the Egyptian king, the former captain suggests that Arne Slot requires a different profile on the flanks. Liverpool are facing a daunting rebuilding task as Salah prepares to end his legendary 9-year spell at the club. Yes, on Merseyside, while recruitment staff at Anfield have long kept tabs on West Ham United's talisman, Jarrod Bowen. Club legend Gerrard believes that the England international may fall short of the world-class standards required to fill the void. Required to fill the void. The debate surrounding Salah's replacement has heated up in recent times, but despite Bowen's consistent output in East London, the consensus among Liverpool old guard is that the tactical requirements under Arne Slot demand a more explosive profile than the 29-year-old currently offers. And
yes, we're also taking part in this conversation because, of course, it's what we have been talking about today on Football Live. Not all through, but of course, for a chunk of the last 45 minutes heading to 1 hour. Jamie Carragher, of course, echoed the Gerrard's sentiment, pointing towards Liverpool's long-term transfer strategy, which typically targets younger players with a high resale value. When asked if Jarrod Bowen could step into Salah's boots, the club's former defender was characteristically blunt. No, he was maybe on Liverpool's radar under Jurgen Klopp early on, but obviously Mo Salah was already there. But no, he would be too old for Liverpool. Yes, if not Bowen, Liverpool will certainly be looking for other alternatives to ensure that Slot has a squad that can compete for the Premier League title next season. Names such as Yan Diomande as well as Francesco Conceição and Michael Olise have also been reported among other targets being monitored by the Reds as they look for a younger, high-ceiling replacement for the Egyptian great Mohamed Salah. Bro, this conversation is everywhere. It's everywhere. Everyone is talking about it, and again, you have to talk about things like this because you're preparing for life after the person. And you only have the World Cup as your respite because everybody will be monitoring what you are going to do in the transfer market to see if you are ready to bring in such a player. Now, on the strength of the fact that the player performed the previous season and then they won the league title, and then you invested £500 million or nearly £500 million in the transfer market, and things have not particularly popped, it puts them under the pressure pedestal heading into next season already, because everybody would want to see if first those players who didn't perform this season will step up, and then if you'll be making some recruitments, especially when you have to replace a world-class player like Salah, and everybody will be looking at what you will bring into the side, as there will be conversations about, can he get it right? Can he bring in the sort of quality that would make us say, okay, this guy has what it takes, and this guy can take us from this point to this other point. Again, I don't want to be in Arne Slot's shoes at this point in time, because again, it is a tough place to be in, and let's hope they'll be able to get things sorted and prepare for the new season. But yes, we are asking, of course, you are part of the conversation. We have been talking about Mohamed Salah. Let's take a break. Yes, let's take a break at this point in time, and yes, when we come back, more talking points coming your way on Football Live right here on your Champions Star Sports Radio Real FM. Yes, we'll be taking a break right now. When we come back, there'll be more to look at on the show. Stay with us.
88.9.
They've taken the lead.
Brilla FM.
They've taken the lead.
Brilla FM.
They could go with the corner kick. Shooting Stars still looking for the 3-point here. And no, fantastic header.
The WBC interim heavyweight champion of the world, the Nigerian Nightmare.
In this very moment, I'm king.
And Carroll's there, and he's won it for Liverpool. Much criticised club record signing comes up with a header that lifts their spirits.
Higher with the crown, yes.
They'll be looking to switch it quickly here for Ronaldo, who's got the better of Diego Alves.
our Sports Radio Real FM. It is Football Live. And this is the home stretch of today's edition of the show. Let's run through some of the messages we have right here before we introduce our next talking points on the show. This one says, good afternoon, guys. I'm Ahmed from Ikorodu. Make them come by one of Chidora Ijuke. No bad too. It will even be cheaper. And then you added a laughter emoji there. You know, say you the troll, but Ismail Sani from Agege says there are various replacements who will fit in for Liverpool if they can let go the likes of Olise, Savinho, and Greenwood. This Savinho, the one at City. That one, nothing. Good afternoon, guys, in the studio. It says Mohamed Salah's replacement should be Fermin Lopez. Yes, he is young, fast, and will get better. Ifeanyi from Banana Island, Victor. Okay. Thank you for that one. Let's take this one here. It says, good afternoon, gentlemen in the studio. Statistics for players are only considered when the generality of the team is not doing well. For example, if Gakpo was at Arsenal, he will be one of the top scorers. Same way Enzo has a better season than Rice, but people will give Rice the Ballon d'Or shout out. Where's this coming from? It says, however, my choice to replace Salah will be the young Mane at Wolves, but they will have to be patient. They don't need their patience. That Matheus Mane you see there at Wolves, he needs to go to a club where he's getting game time, but he needs to come to the fore proper. On the strength of this season, it's just a potential, honestly. Jan Dioman from RB Leipzig, Bradley Bacola, easy to convince PSG to sell. Ondrick, yes, the way he plays at Lyon. Esteval Willian, Chelsea is willing to sell. Okay, Chelsea is now a selling club. I no deal. Godfather from the UK. Godfather, you came to troll us today. It's fine. It's fine. This one says, for the second option, I think, yes, Kenan Yildiz of Juventus is good. That's a good option.
Yes, actually.
That's a good option.
Yeah. It's a good option. Obviously, still has a lot of time to grow. Affects the game really well. I like that about him. You know, you could tell that about Salah as well, and he's the kind of guy that can improve with the goals as well. So yes, again, there's something. It's a potential, something for the future, and I think he's one of the few guys that I can actually say yes, he can actually grow into that stature.
Okay, of course. That's it for the Mohamed Salah conversation, and yes, all the things we've had to look at today on the show. Let's move on elsewhere. And yes, Football Live continues, and we're not done talking yet. We're certainly not done talking. Let's go to all the talking points that we have, of course, on the show as we gradually, of course, grind things to a halt on the show today. Now, Pep Guardiola, yes, he's a former Bayern Munich colleague, has suggested that he could leave Manchester City at the end of the season amid growing doubts over his future. Guardiola's future at the Etihad Stadium is already in a major doubt, with it being suggested that he could leave in just a few months' time. This is despite the Spanish coach still having a contract with City until the summer of 2027. Former Bayern Munich sporting director Matthias Sammer, who of course worked with Guardiola in Germany, has now offered his take, and believes that all is not well. Should this indeed end up being Guardiola's final season with Manchester City, yes, he would be going out with the silverware. They beat Arsenal, yes, Premier League rivals Arsenal, in the Carabao Cup final at the weekend, while City, of course, are still in the FA Cup and are due to take on Liverpool in the FA Cup. Guardiola's side still have hopes of beating Arsenal to the Premier League title, but are 9 points off this pace, with of course 8 games to still play in the season. Are City prepared for a possible Pep Guardiola exit in the summer? Joseph, with the way the team is at the moment, do you think City are prepared for a possible Pep Guardiola exit in the summer?
It doesn't look as though. It doesn't look as if they are. Well, I want to think most likely, if anybody is, maybe they'll probably want to wait until the summer. That'll be at the end of this cycle basically, and or this season, before they start making in terms of recruitment, and that would actually signal that, okay, depending on the caliber of players they want to get, because now I feel like the way football is played at Manchester City, basically they are playing how Pep wants to. The quality of what they will buy will be how Pep wants to play. No, they want to get this caliber, this profile of players, and I think it depends on. This is the first time we are going to be seeing in Manchester City. I'm not sure who they are. The sporting director when City came in, the Chiki Begiristan, and this guy, it's my Omar Berada, were the ones who actually built, found this project Manchester City are basically on at this point in time. And I think it's a little bit different now.
Chiki and Soriano.
Berada was the CEO.
Yeah.
And all of these guys were the ones who founded. They basically worked with Guardiola really closely. How they wanted the project to be, and everybody could see they were in tandem in terms of recruitment, in terms of even the contracts, and everything basically worked the way Pep wanted it. And I think it's going to be a major shift. Now, if Manchester City wants this same structure to continue, this brand of football, it means we are going to see the same level of recruitment. And I think that would give us an idea. I will be surprised if, everybody will be basically surprised if they go suddenly for a more direct player than they currently have. And I think that's where you start to have, okay, maybe what's the word now? The speculations are moving towards, less of the 100% technical players, more into the direct players and whatnot. I think that's, one idea, that could give you about, okay, maybe Guardiola is leaving or not. And I think in terms of preparation, I think they're well stacked. The players in the team are well stacked. Trafford and Donnarumma, already given, themselves, maybe not particularly, so much trouble, but, you can say that's end of the field is well taken care of. Middle of the park, well taken care of. The defense, maybe they need to do upgrades here and there, just to herald whoever is coming in next. And I think, maybe before the end of the season, they should have an idea. And I don't think, it makes any sense to say some of the young guys that have been floated around will be the ones to say. I think they will go for another world-class manager that can, build on what they have now, into the future, not starting a new cycle. I think it would be a mistake to want to start to rebuild with the caliber of players they have. Maybe not particularly all of them are world class, but this is more than enough to compete at every front for at least 2 years more, and post Guardiola if it happens. But I think whoever comes in next, inheriting a good squad, and of course I think they want to build the momentum. But in terms of maybe the feelers into the end of the season, I don't think the body language is giving so. I don't think so in terms of what could happen. Let's see how the speculations be going to the end of the season. I think that's where we have a clearer idea.
Are we in that position where we should be talking about, should they, for instance, not win the Premier League, which is a big trophy that might make the man want to say, let me bow out? Are we in a position where we are seeing a City side that will say, let's roll out the checkbook again and back this man so that he can recruit the quality players, and then one more season before he leaves? Or from the body language, you can already tell that City are not ready for post-Guardiola exit, and there might be further problems?
Yeah, I think from the body language, City are not ready. Guardiola feels like
the man that has been trusted so much to handle business, and so they've not started thinking of life after him.
Yes, life after him. Because for all of the, maybe from my point of view, I feel like if Guardiola is to leave, you should be seeing some changes technical wise. Just last season they brought in Kolo Toure and
Pep Linders. Yeah,
and I feel like, okay, maybe these are the guys that will take care. But I think they want to work on a normal circumstance. I feel like, okay, they'll probably work in the shadows and try to learn the ropes. Say 2 years. It won't be fair on them if they're the ones who take on the job, or I don't know what the plan is for them to have only 1 year and then throw them straight into the job. And I think if we are going to also have that, would have some of these, apart from even the technical staff, some of the non-technical staff, basically people who are in and around the team, the scouting, the directors. There should be some sort of movement, and I think the movements we've had, have not come in the last 2 years from the technical point. I mean, from the non-technical point of view. From the technical, it will be too early to say, okay, these guys are ready for after Guardiola leaves. And Guardiola at this point in time, the body language that speaks to me feels like he's still undecided. I mean, his contract would end at the end of next season, not this season. And it's probably, I saw after the theatrics, with the drama between him and the staff when they won the Carabao Cup, and it feels as if, okay, there's that extra touch of emotion, attached to it.
It could be dramatized so that nobody
to knock everybody off.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think personally, he just wants to leave everybody leave us guessing as to what would happen. And I think this is also not just about the sporting merit. I mean, this is a man that said, okay, I want to quit this because of my family. He had a problem with his wife at one point in time. It affected him. And he said he promised his wife just 2 years and, it will be all. Naturally, probably this season is supposed to be at the end of it, but he signed another contract, and I think that's where, that's what keeps everybody happy. But I think personally that, he was most likely want to bow out on a very high note. High note meaning not Carabao Cup. I mean, he wants to have another running for the Premier League trophy, title, and see if it can, he'll be able to get it. And of course, the Champions League as well. That'll be the lasting legacy. And I think for me, looking at how the season has turned out for Manchester City, it will be anticlimactic for Guardiola to bow out this way.
Okay. Yes, you think Pep Guardiola could bow out this way, or you think are City in a good position because we're asking, should Pep decide to quit this season? Do you think City are in a good position to cope with the exit of such an iconic manager and then start thinking of life after him and what could possibly happen after? Yes, of course, it's all what we're looking at this point in time, as we still have a bit of time to wrap things up on Football Live. Yes, today's edition. 090-41,089, 090-44,089. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Hello. Yeah, Emmanuel here.
Emmanuel, let's hear you.
I think Pep, okay, what I'm going to say is going to be like surprise to many. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
But I don't think Pep will call it quit or Man City are ready to let him go. Because these two remaining trophies, the country will end up lifting them. Premier League, I see it lifting it. And I see him lifting FA Cup too. That's my take. Then after that, I think Man City will back him up financially again. That's what I see. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for that one. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome.
Victor, now I can talk.
Let's hear you.
I think if Guardiola leave Man City, Man City are going to enjoy it because the kind of football Guardiola playing in Man City now is boring football. If they can continue with Guardiola one more season, they are going to be like Chelsea or AC Milan, and it will help them to come back again. Guardiola will go by direct player, he will turn them to his own system of player. You will see player they pass ball one corner to another. This team is no longer working. I think they shall allow it to go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this one. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello,
good
Mr.
afternoon.
President.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Mr. Joseph, Mayu Principality. Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Okay, this is Jacob, aka Michael Carrick's uncle. So for Guardiola and City, for me, I think he has to just throw in the towel because whatever it is that the thing is missing, this is not Guardiola's thing that we all need. So I believe he should go. And for his replacement, I think the ideal manager for his replacement has to be should be Jurgen Klopp, former Liverpool coach. He is definitely going to fit in well with Guardiola. Thank you.
Okay, Jurgen Klopp has said he's not taking any job in England except returning to Liverpool. So all this way now the airport suggests. We're not even looking for suggestions for who's going to replace him. We're asking if you think City are ready. City are ready. Looking at the personnel there, the ambition, where they are on the table, everything else. Do you think City are ready for the possible exit of Pep Guardiola? Should there be breaking news in the next 3, 4, 5 minutes now, or by this time tomorrow, that Pep Guardiola has agreed that he would leave at the end of the season? I know that he would not want to agree that now because, of course, it might force the players to down tools, or might, of course, hit them one way or the other, and then players might not exactly play at their very best. This is the time for him to manage their egos and push them as hard as possible and ensure that they get the job done. But do you think Pep and Manchester City are prepared for a possible exit of Pep Guardiola should the announcement come today? Matthias Sammer, a guy he used to work with at Bayern Munich, former sporting director at Bayern Munich, has said that Pep Guardiola, he thinks that Pep will leave at the end of the season, and that the signs from what he is seeing, I don't think he just stopped himself short of saying the actual thing. I think there's been conversations, and it's now a matter of, just in case I bow out on a high with a big trophy, I might announce that I'm leaving. Yes.
What's the big trophy?
Maybe the Premier League.
FA Cup, the domestic double.
The guy who owned the Wigan Athletic Football Club, I've forgotten his name now, Sir John something. He used to be friends with Sir Alex Ferguson. That was the guy who said Sir Alex Ferguson was going to leave in 2013. He said Sir Alex didn't win that title in 2012. He lost it to Man City. That Sir Alex will come back next season. And that he believes that if Sir Alex wins that title, he will go from there. Before you know, title in the bag, Van Persie season. And you hear, dear Manchester United fans, I say, ha! He felt like a family bereavement. That you would not see this man in the dugout again for a while. No, those old coaches were special. Let's take this one. Hello there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
I greet everyone in the studio.
Yes, we greet you too.
To me, I don't think Pep will leave.
What's your name, please?
Okay, my name is Adam. I'm calling from. To me, I don't think Pep will leave now. Although what is coming, Pep leaving is that let's wait after the FA Cup. That's what.
That's the end of the season. Unfortunately, we are projecting to ask, should he leave now? Do you think City are prepared for his exit?
No. Let me tell you something. I don't still have something to offer to me. I don't still have a lot to offer. Because if you look at some of those coaches that we see here now, you do not see the one that has the experience like Guardiola. So Guardiola still believes that I should just wait a season more so they can win the Premier again. I will not leave. So that's what I'm thinking. For now, Guardiola will stay now by now. If you stay by now, maybe after next season, and can go on. Thank you.
You are stopping him from going this season till next season. What is making you think that another person will not want him to stay by next season and continue into another season? I think the conversation is been very heavy of late, and there is no law that says he cannot end it before the final year of his contract.
Yeah. I mean, it's just to terminate contract.
It's just to terminate it and say, in fact, they can pay him off after 10 years or more. They can pay him off and say, thanks for everything. And you can have the extra 1 year money. It's the City we are talking about, not Leicester. Even though the two of them carry City. It is Man City we are talking. Let's take your thoughts. Hello there. Good afternoon. Yes, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Joseph Augusto.
Agree to welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
The voice of Otto Patrick.
Okay.
I think Pep is overdue for leaving, and I won't be surprised if we take a bow after the end of the season.
because it's like his era is coming to an end. Because I believe in the next 3 to 4 seasons, it is going to be Arsenal era. If Arsenal should win the league this season, in the next 3 seasons, Arsenal is going to be the control. And he might not want to stay because he might not want to continue being in the loser side, for what he has done for people. So, and if anything that makes Arsenal to win the league, I think they will step out by the end of the season because he believes it's good. From there, Arsenal will take over from there. The era is going to become an Arsenal era in the next 3 to 4 seasons. That's my take. As a wonderful celebration.
All right, thank you so much for that one. I think he's seen a lot of battles in the Prem. If he says he wants to leave now, I don't think it is a function of because he knows there's an Arsenal era that is coming. Which era? Never win the match is finished with the announced era.
Arsenal never do one. They never do one era. They never do 1 year.
You never win the cup. You the announced era. All these ones not be anything. The man has seen a lot. I mean, if he decides to walk away, you will not find a lot of coaches who want to do 10 years in one place anymore. I mean,
I don't think we are ever going to see that.
And he's been very successful.
But maybe the one we are Arteta they do with Arsenal now. That's if he win. I think he will win this league season. But people don't talk. Say if he don't win this one, we then sack him. We how many coaches there for 10 years? That's the last we'll see of it. And I think after maybe some of these coaches that maybe I don't know Fabregas, people that are maybe actively invested in teams, maybe not them get time or something, but on for high top level football, I don't think it's ever going to happen again.
Okay. Let's take 1 or 2 more calls, of course, on the show. Hello,
Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Joseph Michael Carey. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. President, this is Zainab on the line. Mr. President, my own contribution is I don't think Pep will leave this season.
No, the question is not whether he will leave. Hello? The question is not whether he will leave. That's not the question.
Okay.
The question,
I'm not seeing him leaving.
The question is not whether he will leave. You keep going there. The question is whether you think City are prepared for a possible exit, which means give him the resources to build a team for you before he leaves. That is, he will now decide to say, I'm not leaving this season. Next season, I need to build a team that I can leave. I need to build a team that can help me compete and win titles, and then I can bow out on a high. But should he not be looking at next season and he decides to say he wants to leave this season, are City prepared for the possible exit of Pep Guardiola? I'm not saying he's going to leave this season. Don't mix it up. Now, 2 different things. Is Pep Guardiola going to leave this season? That's not in my place to say. Are City prepared for the possible exit of Pep Guardiola? That's the question this afternoon on the show, on Football Live. Are City prepared? Do you think for the ambition of the club or for the ambition of the coach, just in case he doesn't win a big trophy this season, then it will be time for him to now say, okay, I need more players so that we can build a formidable team and compete next season, all guns blazing. So that even if I now decide to leave, I would have left you a team that is strong enough for you to continue in my absence or continue when I'm gone and say, okay, I left you guys a very good team. Because yes, there are good players in the team, but I think one factor that drives this team a great deal is Pep. Another guy might come in and do well, but it will not be for a long time like this. It will not be for a long... Look, the first another guy that came and took us by surprise and won it in his first season. This season, the fans are calling him out to say, bros, they go. And I read again a couple of days back that Scott Parker is on holiday somewhere with his wife and fans are dragging him. And so as they went on international break, he should be on the pitch running from pillar to post and be coaching the players on what to do. Please, coaches are human beings too. Coaches are human beings. This is the only family time he will have. Players are out on international break. Let the man take time off.
Before they cry.
So that he can even clear his head and come back with, better way of thinking or finding solutions to problems. Mathematically, they have not relegated. Does it look like they're going to relegate? Of course. But can they still survive?
Even if they relegate,
what in one do?
You enjoy life.
You don't understand.
Make they cry.
My brother. my brother. Hello.
Yes, good evening to everybody.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, this is Mr. Brad, the icon of Manchester City. Yes, for me, as a citizen or as a city fan who are there, in fact, Manchester City are not even ready for Pep Guardiola's exit. Yes, because before this owner by Manchester City, the man Pep Guardiola say, "See you do for my plan." The Pep Guardiola not the only manager. I can tell you say yes. I don't say the money no follow for the money they pay by Manchester City, but if the part of Manchester City, see a past manager. So for me, Man City are not ready. In fact, nobody as a manager in this world can replicate what the girl don't do for Man City. In fact, carry your club Arteta, even Carlo Ancelotti, they cannot do. In fact, money they there, but what the girl don't do for Manchester City. Just 9 years, he don't win 20 trophies, not the beast. So we are not even ready for Pep to do. And for people who say, for us now, for we say Pep league, they go dominate. See, now only fools die many times before their time. I can tell you that one. Now only fools die many times before their time. So you never win anything. You don't be dance. Pep Guardiola be good. Pep Guardiola not be good anywhere. Thank you so much.
You they sound as if say now you get Manchester City. If Pep Guardiola won't go anywhere, you go from here chain him. You go from here tie and rope, say make it not go anywhere. See, say it within the confines of what you can control. Just leave it in the place where you not go be like say you don't to tear him out. Not just boast. If the man announce him today, nothing you could do. All these ones where they go anywhere. Now your emotions they react. Now your emotions they react. People they will still talk say Sir Alex could give 5 more years. Now you get the man. The man say I know he don't do. You say no, can still give 5 more years. Waiting. Is he not just 71? Is he not just this job pressure damn? Pressure damn. One of those guys I watched back in the day, Colin Kazim Richards, is back in League One as a coach. I see him the other day, they do press conference. I say, now this brother with this Colin Kazim Richards. Hey, I just shake head. I say, this life. You now look and see that some of these guys have started coaching. They started dragging themselves into this thing. See cleverly now. All these men, they don't do work. You can't tell yourself, say, one baba for still day. In fact, this week, Roy Hodgson took another job at 78. He took another job. I say, Baba, your children, they try you. Seriously, Roy Hodgson children, they try. After all these years, what you forget for coaching where they can carry? Like, waiting the day where you want to collect, say, at 78, bros, just rest, maybe they chop your money. But again, I can understand. This is the only thing he knows how to do. This is the only thing he's done for most part of his life, and it's the only way he feels young again. When he's doing it and he's seeing the result, he gets excited. He feels that young guy feeling or that childlike feeling of your ideas coming together and yielding results. I can understand all of that stuff, but when you are in your 70s, Baba, you want to just take it easy and say, I have tried, I have done this, I have done that. But yes, I quite agree that City are not prepared post-Pep. I quite agree. What Matheus Nunes has done in the right-back position is not a typical right-back. I think part of the recruitment City must address going into next season is that position. They must find a way around it. O'Reilly for me is a better forward than he is a defender. That guy is a cheat code when he attacks. Pockets of spaces, getting into positions, ability to pass, late runs into the box, eye for goal, all of that, he has it in his locker. Defensively, he's going to have a lot of problems. If he plays under a defensive coach, he's going to have a lot of problems. You will not recognize him.
It just will not last.
And I think sometimes you just have to play to the strength of your players, especially when it is not more than 1 or 2. There was a time Jurgen Klopp had to come out to defend Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he said, look, what he offers this team is more than what you people complain about that he lacks. And I do not see that defensive part of the game because of what he does for this team. A guy who's doing 14, 15 assists, who can hit 70 yards from the defense straight to the attack and is leading to a goal. You want for some say because they dribble and go score. He's therefore not good at his job. Nah. The man said, no, you people will not force me to change my mind. What I think about this kid is what I will keep doing. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the man for me, and he keeps giving me the job. By the way, the Senegalese players have started trolling again. Yes, they have the trophy. They are about to show the rest of the world, parade the trophy before their game against Peru. Of course, it's full time in the game between South Korea and the Ivory Coast. It ended 4-0. The Ivory Coast scoring 4 goals in that game. And yes, let's let you know that Ousmane Diomande has scored in that goal. In that game, he scored the 3rd goal. And Willy Singo, yes, Victor Osimhen's teammate at Galatasaray, who came on, of course, in the game. Started the game, actually. Singo has also scored in. No, Singo replaced the other man, Doué. Yes, he replaced Aguela Doué, and the series brother, by the way. And yes, he replaced him, and in the 79th minute, and he scored in the 94th minute in this game. So yes, it is full time right now, and the Ivory Coast have won that game by 4-0. France under 19 lead 2-0 against Switzerland. Romania against Northern Ireland is goalless. At halftime, it is Bendel Insurance 1, Plateau United 1 in the MPFL. Let's go to League 1 right now. Blackpool against Bolton is goalless. Leyton Orient against Exeter is also goalless. Reading has the lead 2-0 against Wigan Athletic, and it is Stockport County who, of course, lead 2-0 against AFC Wimbledon. And I can tell you that yes, Wycombe they lead against Port Vale 1-0 in this game. Now, Port Vale, I'm sure that Liam Rosinio is definitely watching this game at this point in time. Yes, Liam Rosinio is definitely watching this game because he takes on Port Vale next week Saturday. Yes, in the FA Cup, and I'm sure that he's probably watching this game and forming his notes and preparing his.
Forming his notes.
Yes, as always. I mean, he knows how to write a good deal of those notes, and I'd like to read some of those things he's writing very soon. I'd like to read it.
Let's see that Bible for me.
You know how those boys when they sit down back of coach, just carry the Bible, enter crowd, but they go follow you. So yes, of course, the conversation around Pep Guardiola, the conversation around what will constitute a good season for him to bow out. I think if at the end of the day, there's always going to be pressure for coaches to bow out on a high and do this and do that. Is there really a high? Then you can't go tell yourself one time again, say, let's give it one more season. The season can't go worse past the other one, because as far as being competitive in Premier League is concerned, it's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any easier. You'll have to best every team. And, bro, like 80% of City's entire squad, they are going to play at the World Cup. So which time they even get to take rest enough before they go come start the season on a high? I will personally not have a problem with him if he says at the end of this season that he's not doing again. As much as I still want to see him in the game, if he says he's not doing again, I don't think it will come as a surprise to me that this is the end of the road for me, and with all that I have seen, thank you very much, and God bless you all. But let's see how it goes. Good luck to everyone who's involved. Good evening to you guys. Yes, VQ and Joseph. Citizens are not ready for his exit, and even those who are pushing for his exit are those people who are frustrated by his presence and his technical know-how in the Premier League. Greetings to you guys. I am Pleple. In fact, like the other guys, myself now, aka Guardiola's kitchen man. Hey! Nah, what for you? Boy. Now you the cook for him. He's the aka Guardiola's kitchen man. Well done. Well, yes, that's it on today's edition of a Football Live. Yet another edition. Yes, the 28th of March 2026. And yes, wrapping things up at this point in time has been an interesting journey with Joseph Obishason and I from when we started up until this time. And yes, we'll leave you in the capable hands of Adam Baba Suleiman. Right up next, of course, himself and F1, Femi Olubi, are the two guys who will take over and serve you the action until, of course, we say our goodbyes. Yes, of course, the action continues right here. Keep it locked on Brilla. Good evening and bye for now.